I want to look at a few problems here on 3.7, help people get moving along with the work here. So when we look at a function like f of x equals x plus 6 squared, that's a parabola that is shifted to the right by 6. No, it's left by 6 because it's a plus 6. Okay, so we have a parabola like that. And this parabola, though, in doing an inverse function, which is what 3.7 is about, we can't find it. I mean, we can't. It has to be 1 to 1. So we get rid of the part that would make it not 1 to 1, meaning if we drew a horizontal line, it hits it more than once. So if I get rid of this part over there on the left, which is typically what we do, we don't usually get rid of the right side. If we get rid of that left part, then we have just the graph that looks like this, going from 6. So that's why it's our negative 6. And that's why the restricted domain would make it negative 6 to infinity. They give the other criteria can be decreasing, so this is the increasing side. And so that's why it's negative 6 to infinity. Now, here we have, for the next question, what's the range of f? Well, the lowest f gets is at 0, and it goes up forever. That's why it's 0 to infinity. So to find the inverse of the inverse of f, restricted to the domain above, we're looking at this side over here. And so really, this is not it. It's just this part right here. But we would say x plus 6 squared, and y equals that. And then the way I do it, I swap x and y so that x equals y plus 6 squared. Then I take the square root of both sides. So that square root of x equals y plus 6. And then I subtract the 6. So the square root of x minus 6 equals y. And that's square root of x minus 6. Now if we look at the domain of f inverse, so the square root of x minus 6, so that's going to be square root of x. It would normally come out here, but then the minus 6 brings it down to here. So it's going to be looking like that. And our domain is going to be that 0 to infinity. So you see from the x-axis on. And then the range is going to go from negative 6 on up. And that's why it's negative 6 to infinity. So I hope that makes sense on that problem. This next one is a pretty quick one. Hence I didn't give myself a lot of space to work it, because we're just going to give the restricted domain that includes x equals 0 and the entire range of the function. So the range is from the lowest to the highest. And so it looks to me like this is about from negative 1.5 up to, negative 0.75, I should say. Negative 0.75 up to probably a 0.75. So that range of x values gives me the entire, that domain for x gives me the entire range that the function produces. And the next problem, find the inverse of this function. So you see this person already had. Again, if I said y equals the square root of 3x plus 6, and I swap the x and y, I'd have x equals the square root of 3x plus 6, where x squared equals 3x plus 6. So x squared minus 6 equals 3x. And dividing by 3, x equals, this should have been a y. It should have been a y here. That's the y there. Sorry about that. Y equals x squared minus 6 over 3. And that's what they have here for the inverse. Okay, so now we want to find the domain. So if we were to graph this function, so we have y, essentially we have y equals, or if inverse, x squared over 3 minus 2. 6 over 3 is 2. So it's shifted down by 2. But it's going to be going like that. So that's why for the horizontal line test to not be violated. We get rid of that part, and it's going to be from 0 to infinity. Okay, hope that helps. Keep on trucking, everyone.